This video is going to show you how to take your list that you have made of possible sources and turn it into a proper MLA formatted works cited list. So when you're collecting sources, you'll do things like copy out the citation provided in the database. You'll keep the permalink from the database. Maybe also you'll have a book with the call number from the library database, or an internet site with the name of the article and the name of the website and the date that you accessed it. At a minimum, you need that information and the internet link. And you'll have that sort of stuff listed for the sources that you found. But now you want to turn this into a proper works cited list. So let's see how to do that. First thing we would do is we would delete all the links and permalinks. Those are not included in a works cited list. And I would take out extra space between the items. And I would take out any notes, like this is a note here, book. And I'd move items around to put them in alphabetical order according to the first word. And I'd add at the top the words works cited. Sometimes I see students write work cited, but you would only do that if there was only one work. If it's more than one item on your list, you need works cited, and that you center, just the word works cited. You don't put in any extra spaces anywhere, and you double space the whole list. But see, even after you double space, how there's these extra spaces between the lines. Word does that, and you have to get rid of that. One way to do that is right up here in style, no spacing, but then you'd have to go back and double space. The other way to do that is to go to page layout, and right here where it says before and after, make sure those are set to 0. Either way will deal with that problem. Then we also need all of this to have a hanging indent, or what I sometimes call a reverse indent. I get to this by going to View and clicking on Ruler, so that makes the ruler visible here, and then you have to go on this bottom trapezoid, not the rectangle but the trapezoid, and slide over 1/2 inch. If you slide the rectangle, you slide everything, or you make a new tab. That's a big mess. So you want to make sure you're just on the trapezoid and not on the rectangle. Whoops. It's a little hard to do because well, it's hard to do. But at any rate, if you get on that rectangle, you'll push around everything. That's no good. And then you want the whole page in Times New Roman 12. That's because the entire paper needs to be in Times New Roman 12. So for sure this page needs to be in Times New Roman 12. Like that. Now, another thing that needs to happen is we need to italicize the names of websites, the names of publications, and the names of databases. Also, when I say publications, these are the ones I've done so far, are journals or any sort of periodical, but also the name of a book. Okay, now these we copied from the database, it looks like, so they look like they're in the proper format. I would just check this capitalization that O doesn't need to be in caps. And I just make sure all the information is there. So what students often leave out is like web, or they leave out this access date. But the access dates are here, so that looks good. And here in the web. These names are in correct order, so it's last name first, and then if there's more than one author, the other authors are first name last. That looks good. And this article, I'm presuming, didn't have an author. But down here, this one needs some work. We don't use initials in APA or in MLA. We use full names. So I'm going to replace the full name here. And then there's a period. And then I also want to switch the capitalization. In MLA, we capitalize the first word, the last word, and all the important words. So you'll see sometimes that when you pull out of the database, you have to adjust the capitalization. Okay, and then this would actually be a period. Now, what follows the name of the book in MLA is the publisher, not the call numbers, even though you would save that on your first list in case you needed to find it again. Now, I have got a problem because I need to remember how to find what I need for publisher info. So that's the problem. So I'm going to go back into my course here. And you would do the same. You would just go into your course. I'm going to go look at the librarian's example for a book and try to remember what I need for the book. Now this is what you would do on any of them that you got hung up on. You'd go look at an example either from the library page or from Purdue OWL or this other source I've given you, Hunter, or any other source that a teacher assigned, and you go and look at an example. So here, title of book, I got that far, place of publication, colon, publisher, comma, copyright date, medium of publication consulted. I'm just going to copy that over so that I remember what I need here. So let me just put that in here so I remember. So I need place of publication, publisher, copyright date, medium of publication. Well, I'm going to have the book in my hand. I would not put a book on my list without looking at the book. So I'm going to have looked at the print book. Now, if I looked at if I looked at an online version, I'd also put web here, but I'm going to look at a print version, so I'm going to put it right there. But I need this, place of publication, publisher, and copyright date. I got to go get that. So Thomas Vernon, you know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go to the library web page. McHenry.edu. And I'm going to have to go look up this book. Again, I just have to go back and get the necessary info. Now, I'm giving you this example because this might easily happen where you have to go find a book again. Okay, I'm going to put here an author read because that's my author, and I'm going to search. I'm going to see if I can find this book again. Oh, there it is. Okay, now what I need is the publisher and the place of publication. Okay, whoops. Okay, so the publisher looks like is Routledge, Taylor, and Francis Group. So I'm going to copy that. And publication date looks like 2014. So that looks pretty good. So far I'm doing pretty well, I think. Now, place of publication. Well, if I had the book in my hand, which I would just look on the first couple pages and I would see where the publication date is. Okay? It's a little bit difficult in this case, so let me just look and see if I can find it. Let's see. I'll look inside maybe. Now, this can happen. You can have a moment where you're not sure. So now I'm going to try another thing, and I'm going to go ahead and Google this publisher. And I'm just going to see where they say they're from. Official site. Oh, let's look down here. Oh, look at that. Order inquiries, Florence, Kentucky. Business inquiries, New York. I'm going to write down New York on my list. That seems to be their main office. Now, so I'm going to write here, New York, colon. Now, if New York was an obscure city, I would put down the state and or the country here. But everyone knows where New York is, so we don't need to worry about that. So then I'm just going to keep my data here that I need. There I go. And that looks pretty good. Then I go File and Save As, and I'm going to put that right on my desktop so that I know exactly what I have. Works cited, save. Then I can upload that to the assignment, and later I can attach this page to the back of the paper and turn it in. Okay? And that's it.